5. But we still got one more championship to determine, and that's the driver title. But without further ado, let's get the command to fire engines for the season finale, the Banquet 400 at Kansas.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers rolling on the racetrack for their one pace lap around here. But yeah, like I said, Diego Yepes clinched Rookie of the Year after last week at California because he has an 11-point gap between himself and I believe Cullen Francis was second in the Rookie of the Year battle. So, congratulations to Yepes. However, this is his only season he's running as that 10 car. The number 10 is going to a different team. It's going to be going to a new team by the name of Curtis McIntyre Racing, and you'll see how that's going to play out whenever you look at the Season 6 info tomorrow. But the pace car's in pit road, and it's time to boogity, 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 go finale racing. So Colin Phillips led the first lap, but as you can tell with how this racetrack is, it's self-cleaning, meaning that if you get to the bottom, you're pretty much guaranteed a position on the guy above you. And if you can get a good enough run on the person in front of you, you're definitely going to be able to pass them. Right now, Zachary Fitzwater working on trying to get to the back bumper of Colin Phillips and try and take the race lead from him. And the reason why I consider this track to be the best track we go to every season is because of look how good the racing is so far here in the early going. It may be a bit crazy at first, but they're showing each other respect and constant passing. Like right there, Fitzwater has the race lead after taking it from Colin Phillips. And also, it doesn't matter where you start. You could start dead last and work your way up to the front in almost no time if you know what you're doing. Like, look at Collard and Jefferson. I don't even know where they started, but they were, I would guess, around mid-pack, midfield at the start of the race. And they're up here at the front, and it's going to be 3 wide for the lead with Sekuli using the apron, which you can use to make moves. And Sekuli, who started on the pole, didn't get to lead the first lap, trying to lead a lap. But here comes Chris Dollerton, who was in contention last week at California until he got caught up in the only caution that came out at California, and now finds himself basically just trying to hang on the 4th in the point standings. Because he does come into this race 40 points behind Paul Mennick, but 36 ahead of Alex Drayton? Yes. Chris Dollerton up here leading, and he's trying to go for win number 3 this season. But look at Trent Dunham into the picture. He has been one of those guys that struggled all season long, and he's got a win under his belt. And if I were to try and remember where it was he won recently, I want to say Oswego? I could be wrong, but I do know he won a race fairly recently in the Marvel Studios Cup Series lore. And right now he runs second. Meanwhile, Jay Jefferson trying to clear Jonathan Zorline for the third position as Zorlane actually got a little bit loose going into turn 1 and ended up having to go up high on the racetrack to catch the car and not collect anyone, but he saved it. But he is dropping positions rather fast. Back up here at the front, Dollarton still leads, but Jefferson right to his back bumper now. And look at the run Jefferson's got going, trying to go to the inside, but look at James McLeod going to make it 3 wide for the lead. Ryan Butcher, who's won 3 times this season, 2 at Michigan, and then once somewhere else, but it was a mile and a half. I want to say Vegas, I think, but aside from that, yeah, he runs second now as McLeod has the race lead. As we look at this camera, and yeah, there's a little bit of a separation back here. 2 of those 3 championship battlers or contestants, Jacobs and Rogers, are in the back, and then it's back to Anthony McCrory. We'll see if these guys from Jacobs on back can catch up to the main pack, as right now Paul Minnick is the highest of those 3, but he's still got a lot of work to do points-wise in order to make something happen. And now Minnick is about to get passed by his teammate, Zachary Fitzwater. And yeah, you can tell Rogers leading that group. They are starting to reel in the main pack up here. It looks like they're about a 1.5 seconds behind. And as long as some of those drivers stay running up high and fall to the back, they're going to be able to catch them. Let's get back up here to the front, see what's going on, as it's a big battle. And there's actually damage to the rear end of Benjamin Miles' machine, and some right side damage. He might have been the cause of that separation. He might have gotten into the wall, and I see tire skid marks off of turn 2, but obviously no caution, and he's still up to speed. So despite damage, Benjamin Miles still able to run up to speed. As I was trying to get back up here to the front, it was DJ Curtis and Dylan Thoreau racing each other. Now Dylan Young, Rafael LeDuc, and Jay Jefferson are battling each other. Jay Jefferson right now holding on to the lead, but here comes Matt McIntyre with a run to the inside. Matt McIntyre, who has had 2 wins this season. They both came very early on, back at California and Las Vegas at the beginning of the season. And ever since then, he just hasn't been able to recover. Right now, he's having a great run up here at the front. However, DJ Curtis now takes the race lead. Chris Dollarton, who led earlier, he's now back up to the front. Trent Dunham, who was behind him. Both of these guys Texas natives. But here comes Trent, as there he goes to the lead. And according to scoring, it was DJ Curtis who led. And there he is, back there. Who led at the line right there? It was close, but it looked like, yeah, Jefferson got it just barely over Trent. Dylan Young closing in on the back bumper of the 87. As we're still clean and green, and a couple of new contenders up here into the fray. Tim Fiegel, Kyle Matthews, and even Joshua Sekuli, the pole setter. The pole setter is back up here at the front of the field. As things are starting to get really racy as Trent gets swarmed. Yeah, you can tell that it's like a few cars kind of skidding around all over the field, trying to get into like a draft in order to race each other more. I was gonna say, where is Carson Gum, but there he is. He's just moved up quite a few spots. Back up at the front, we got Furniture Racing teammates leading the way. Jay Jefferson with the spot, but here comes Rafael LeDuc to the inside. Can he lead the lap? Didn't quite get there. And we're a lap away from halfway, and I saw some contact back there between some new contenders, Sean Galligan and Jake Baskinger, but they keep it together. But now LeDuc has the lead all to himself right now, and more likely going to lead this lap. But meanwhile, the pole sitter, Joshua Sekuli, still trying to lead a lap. Whoa, and I saw a little bit of beating and bang in between. Oh, and I hear a crash. Oh, and it's Kyle Matthews who was turned. Oh, and there's probably some more craziness happening and I don't know of. Dylan Young was in it, so too was Ryan Butcher. Matt McIntyre was involved, so too was Alex Drayton. Whoa, Patrick Smith about got into the 14. That was close. First time in a long time we've gotten a caution coming out here at Kansas for a crash. And it was like a half a big one, like a mini big one, I would say. But Joshua Sekuli is your race leader. Now, let's see if everybody up front here is going to come into pit road to top off on fuel and tires. Let's see. Yes, they are. So they are guaranteed to be good to go for the rest of the race as far as fuel and tires are concerned. But yes, we are going to have quite a few cars out of this race as we're going to go to spectator cam to see who is going to get out of the pits first. We're going to stay on Kyle Matthews to get a stationary shot. Although Matthews, I believe he's going to take his car to the garage as he's getting in-game towed. And it looks like it's going to be Jefferson, Sekuli, LeDuc, Seth Cole, Colin Phillips, your top 5 when we get back to green flag conditions. So it's Furniture Racing up here at the front now, once again. But let's go ahead and take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Kansas. So this wreck starts as there was a 4-wide situation here between Ryan Butcher, Kyle Matthews, Dylan Young, and Chris Dollarton. Dollarton all the way down on the apron. But watch is what's going to happen whenever the 12 comes back onto the racetrack. Dylan Young tries to move up to give him room to get on the track, but gets up into Kyle Matthews. And look at both Matthews and Butcher up in the air. Almost, both of them almost flipped over. And then right there, Matthews pirouettes down onto the apron, then comes back up in the traffic. And this is how Matt McIntyre gets his damage. Meanwhile, we need to look at the other cars that were involved. Let's see about Dylan Young and how he ends up collecting other people. He just goes sideways, and then he's going to slide back up. And there's where Alex Drayton gets his damage. But what about, where's Ryan Butcher? Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's just still spinning on the apron and then comes back up onto the racetrack. And then he's going to get the outside wall pretty hard right there. Now we need to stay on these guys up here and make sure that we didn't see anyone else get involved, as it's going to be Dylan Young who's the one that starts sliding down the racetrack. As everyone starts to scramble. Wow, Collard was so close. Collard came very close to hitting and T-boning the two, but they somehow got away with it. And that was a look at the caution. Let's take you to the restart here at Kansas. Well, after that caution, only 2 cars are done for today, and they include Kyle Matthews, Ryan Butcher, and then a few cars a lap or more down, Matt McIntyre, Dylan Young, and Jessica Shelton. But anyways, Jay Jefferson is your race leader. Second is Rafael LeDuc. Third, Joshua Sekuli. Fourth, Seth Cole. Fifth is Colin Phillips. Sixth is Trent Dunham. 7th, DJ Curtis. 8th, James Shelley. 9th, Ethan Hoffman. 10th, Sean Galligan. 11th is Jake Baskinger. 12th, Tim Fiegel. 13th, Zachary Fitzwater. 14th, Dougie Shears. 15th, Diego Yepez. 16th, Chris Dollerton. 17th, Anthony McCrory. 18th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 19th, Dylan Jacobs. And then 20th, Jake Rogers. 21st, Jonathan Zorling. 22nd, Alex Drayton. 23rd, Paul Minnick. 24th, Dylan Thoreau. 25th, Patrick Smith. 26th is James McLeod. 27th, Cullen Francis. 28th, Dylan Potee. 29th, Joshua Collard. 30th, Cody Lamas. Then Benjamin Miles, Carson Gum, James Qualls, Preston Blord, and Charles Sanford. As I'm assuming there was an incident on pit road, and that's why Shelton's multiple laps down. But we're back underway, and we got a couple of slowpokes, Dylan Young and Matt McIntyre. So we're going to try and stay with them and see what's going to happen. If there's going to be a bad crash because of them, or people getting held up. Right now it's the middle, the high line getting held up as of this moment. Oh man, things can go wrong in an instant. 4 wide again. Oh, this can't end well. Well, they keep it together. Man, they're 4 wide for a few rows back here in the back of the field. As a result of the 32 and the 2 blocking them up, and that just really separated the field now. As Matt McIntyre almost gets the wall, and he does get into the wall, trying to let everyone go. Dylan Young gets turned, but does he save it? Oh man, he did save it. Is he going to be able to keep it on the racetrack? He does. Holy cow, what a save for Dylan Young, and even for Tim Fiegel. Back up here at the front, you got affiliate teammates battling it out for the lead. Seth Cole and Rafael LeDuc. Seth Cole trying to go for his first win this season. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it would be his first win if he were to pull it off. Right now, LeDuc has the spot, but here comes Sekuli with a run to the inside. As, yeah, the field is spread out as a result of lap traffic. As I'm looking around to see, and yeah, it's a little bit spread out. Not badly spread out as I thought. But it's 11 to go now here at Kansas. Sekuli leads, but here comes Colin Phillips, who led early in the race. Right up here in second, but battle for third between teammates Rafael LeDuc and Jay Jefferson. And it looks like LeDuc's going to get the spot. Trent Dunham going to go by Jay Jefferson for position. Sekuli trying to hold off Colin Phillips and Rafael LeDuc as LeDuc's up here into the picture, but Trent Dunham puts his nose underneath the 77. Trent Dunham's got a pretty good race car right now, as it's 9.5 laps to go here in the finale. And Trent's trying to clear Phillips for the lead, and he does move Trent Dunham to the race lead. Meanwhile, Jay Jefferson trying to make a comeback run as he's now up to 4th. Look at DJ Curtis. I saw him make a fast move on Joshua Sekuli, and now he's up here in 5th. As the front's starting to get a little bit more condensed right now as far as the amount of cars coming into the picture. Right now, the highest running of the championship leaders is Jake Rogers. He's currently scored 11th, but I think he's now going to be up to 10th, perhaps? And then Paul Minnick was 17th, Dylan Jacobs 24th, so it's still, regardless, Jacobs would have the championship, but they've caught Dylan Young again. Whoa, Potee almost ran right over him. Dollerton getting held up because of this. Yeah, Chris Dollerton probably ain't going to be too happy with Dylan Young. his own teammate, at least for now. Next season, Dollarton's moving to Backmarker Motorsports. But yeah, more craziness, and now Matt McIntyre's been caught by the leaders. Colin Phillips right now up at the front, as the 32 is now holding up Jay Jefferson right now. But Jefferson finally gets by. Back up here at the front of the field, LeDuc versus Sekuli once again, and it's Sekuli prevailing, but here comes Seth Cole. Seth Cole is now to the inside of the 11. Close at the line, but it was Sekuli who got the lap lead right there. But now Seth has now got the race lead all to himself. But look at Trent Dunham, man. Trent Dunham's just been a guy you haven't been able to really keep away from this battle. Colin Phillips, same kind of situation, but look at Dylan Poteet and even teammate James McLeod. Both of the Tweenix cars are finding themselves up here into the top 5. Don't discount Tweenix in this race. Whoa, Seth Cole, he got a little bit tight off of turn 2, and that's going to cost him the race lead as Trent Dunham takes back the lead here at Kansas. As we're coming to the line for 2 laps to go. Here at the line, 2 to go. Dylan Poteet right now to his back bumper. 2 very good friends now battling it out for the win, potentially. Then again, those guys behind him could easily catch up to the top 2 at any moment. But Poteet now has the spot. Dylan Poteet trying to go for his second win. Yes, his second win this season. White flag is displayed here at Kansas. But look at Jake Rogers. He's still hoping that Dylan Jacobs will get crashed and go to the bottom 5 and Rogers wins, but I don't think it's happening. Rogers got quite a bit of work to do to get to the lead. And even at that, whoa, almost wreck between Dunham and Rogers, and it's going to end now. Checkered flag waving. Dylan Poteet wins the Banquet 400 at Kansas. Surprise winner out of nowhere at the end. Poteet just all of a sudden came out like he was shot out of a cannon and got to the lead and held it till the end. Great job for Poteet. Second win of the season to conclude Season 5. But let's look at the rest of the results. Trent Dunham, so close to getting that second win of the season, but he gets a second place finish. Joshua Sekuli, while not being able to defend his championship from Season 4, he still ends this season on a high note with a third place run. Jake Rogers tried to do all he could to try and win this race and hope that the 78 of Dylan Jacobs would have had a bad day, but he gets a 4th place finish, so he definitely did close in on the points lead for the championship. And then Preston Plord, with his farewell season concluded with a great run in 5th. James McLeod with a solid performance in the 6th position. Rafael LeDuc finishes his career for Furniture Row Racing in 7th. Seth Cole with a great run in 8th, Colin Phillips in 9th, and then Sean Galligan rounding out the top 10. There's your top 20, top 30, and then the rest of the field, and then the bottom 5 were the lap down or damaged cars, and they were Jessica Sheldon, Matt McIntyre, Dylan Young, Kyle Matthews, and Ryan Butcher. But with that said, congratulations to Dylan Poteet for winning the race, and congratulations to Dylan Jacobs for winning his first Marvel Studios Cup Series championship for the NNSCRA. So, after a crazy chase, Dylan Jacobs finally, after numerous seasons of trying, finally gets the championship that he came close to getting in, I believe, Season 2. He finally closes in on it and wins it all here in Season 5. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one last piece of business, and that's for tomorrow, the official schedule and driver list for Season 6. But now we're going to be going on a roughly little over 2-month break to get everything prepared, do some tests, and make sure we get everything right for Season 6. But once again, congratulations Diego Yepes for winning Rookie of the Year, Dylan Poteet for winning the race, and Dylan Jacobs for winning the championship. But until we meet again in this series, here are your final results, final rookie points, and final regular points for Season 5. Thank you all so much for watching Season 5 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'll see you again for Season 6 in about 2 months. And until then, this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.